Brand name NFTs. Are they worth the hype? What is going on, everyone? Welcome back on Block Gems. I'm Marco and thanks for tuning in. Guys, if you enjoy this kind of content, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Let's jump right into the content. So I really wanted to cover this subject because in the past few months we have been seeing many projects coming to the space that had an existing brand, right? They had a brand that was created into another space, not from the NFT space specifically, but that typically was coming from an adjacent space, for instance, gaming or collectibles and whatnot. And some examples were particularly notable, and I want to go through them in order to use them as a sort of a case study and see if we can learn something for the future for our investment strategies. So one of the cases that I wanted to talk about is Habbo Avatars. I've been covering this project a couple of months back, I think, and this basically represents one of the worst mistakes I've done in terms of investments, because this is still for me an unrealized loss, but nevertheless a loss, because if we look at the price action and also the volume, this is a disaster, guys. We are not seeing people buying in, which is really not bullish at all, actually very bearish. And I was really disappointed, specifically because I thought that this was actually a project, an idea that was very close to the metaverse narrative that could have been leveraged in so many ways for the NFT space. But so far, it did not resonate with the people that populate the NFT market, at least so it seems, right? And as I mentioned, this would have been the best brand or one of the best brands that you could have used for a metaverse narrative, which became super popular in the last month or so, and yet that didn't happen. One of the things that I'm starting to realize, and I will elaborate on this topic more later, is that if you have an existing brand, it seems to me that you come to the NFT space to capitalize on your brand instead of building value in that space. But we will discuss on this topic further in a bit. And another similar story is the one of Megaverse. If we look at the price action here, we see a similar story, right? Also for the volume, same thing. This might be actually very painful for some, because if you have invested 5 Ether at launch or at reveal, if I'm not mistaken, and you're looking now at an investment that has been sliced in 5, you just have 20% of the value. It must be very painful right now. But we've been talking about this project on this channel, and normally we talked about this project in rather negative terms. We were never very bullish about this one. But in general, what we have been seeing for this project is just doom and gloom. People were not satisfied with the quality of the collection, with the quality of the art, and so many similar stories. Now, as I said, if you have an existing brand, if you're an incumbent, if you have a brand that people love, it is likely, or at least the brand owner has an incentive to use the NFT space simply as a market, simply as a group of people, an audience that you can leverage and sell something to. And this is not how the NFT space works, right? Because we have been seeing how the projects that have been the most successful are the projects that have given a lot to the community, have given a lot of utility to the community, and that built their brand because of the value that they've built instead of the value that they have extracted for themselves. Now, there are other examples also from other blockchains. One of them is Street Fighter. This is really an household name, and yet the price development follows a similar story, and also the volumes. So, same story again, something that, at least in my opinion, was done in order to capitalize on a brand, not to build something, but to capitalize on the value of an already existing brand. Now, if we reverse the story, if we go and look at the projects that have been the most successful so far, so if we look at the top 10 or top 20 projects here. These are now very familiar names. For instance, the Bored Apes. They've been innovating on so many different levels, and they have innovated coming directly from the NFT space. Similar story we could say for the Cyberkongs when they launched the ERC20 token connected to their NFT collection, and all the things that you could have done with the ERC20 connected with the Cyberkongs, or the story around the cryptodes and the fact that all the trends that they launched around on-chain NFTs. So all these names didn't leverage a brand. First of all, because they did not have any brand that they could leverage. So they had to build it, and to build the brand, to build their reputation, they had to give something to the community. They have to build value in the first place. So going forward, looking at my future investments, I will use these as a sort of compass to understand where I want to put my money. And this is because typically, or at the very least, I'm going to know that the incumbents, those that already have a brand, especially if they are in the IP space, especially if they are a franchise of some sort, they have an incentive to just use NFTs as a sort of digital form of merchandise, and that's it. And they're not going to give anything special in return to the community of the supporters, to the people that basically invested into their idea. On the other hand, those projects that are starting from the NFT space, they are forced to innovate. They're forced to innovate because they have no brand that they can leverage already, and they have to give something to the community in order for them to build value for the community and for themselves. And as we have seen, this has been the story for basically all the projects that have been very, very successful so far. With that, guys, I hope that this video made some sort of sense for you, or can give you some inspiration at least to conduct your own research. If that is the case, guys, please remember to subscribe to the channel, but also join the Discord channel that we have, the Discord community that we have. I will put the link in the description below. The invite will be open for you guys to join. You're welcome to join. And guys, thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.